Hello, welcome back to Silver Thread Sewing. I'm Diane. This is Friday Sews. So today's Friday again, and it's also the day that if you've taken part in the hashtag SewFrugal23 challenge over on Instagram, today is the day that we reveal our makes for that challenge. And I had two things that I made, and I've already shared those on Instagram. That challenge is run by Sam from Frugalissima and Ruanne, the Yorkshire Sew Girl. So they've done an outstanding job. There's tons of prizes, and I'm just so excited to see what everybody's made and the patterns that they've used. So before I show you my makes, I wanted to say thank you to everybody who has been so kind and who has watched my video and liked and subscribed and commented, and I just felt so encouraged by all that, and I'm so grateful to you for that. I even had one person say that they don't even sew, but YouTube had recommended my video and they had watched it and subscribed. So I have just been tickled and humbled all at the same time. The sewing community, in my opinion, is the best. You know, as my mom would say, there is no big I's and little U's. We want everybody to succeed. Everybody is encouraged by one another. And that doesn't happen everywhere. So I feel very blessed and very thankful to be part of a community like that encourages one another. So when I started preparing for my free patterns and the challenge, I had mentioned last week, I wanted to use, I had found a couple patterns from Tiana's Closet that I thought I wanted to use. Now I printed those off just off my computer at the same time. I checked that the scale was right at 100%, and that's about the only thing I paid attention to at that time. I just printed them off and laid them aside. So this past weekend, when I started to stick the patterns together, the first one that I started working on was the Nomi ruffle detail top, and it didn't go as I had expected. So when I had printed those off, I printed 3 sizes. I printed a large, which I thought I would fall into. I also printed the medium and the extra large, so that way I had a little wiggle room if I needed to grade in or out or whatever. So that's what I normally do. It had filters and I could turn off all the other sizes and didn't waste ink or paper or time or any of that. But when I came to cut the pages out for the pattern, the PDF pages, there was no cutting lines that had printed on that Nomi top. It was just, the pattern was in from the edges, but it didn't show you where to cut. It didn't have any information, and there was nothing, no words on the pattern pieces, except size, whatever, the size in the center. And it had all the range of sizes, but it didn't have any difference in the markings. They were all just solid black lines, and it gave you a cutting line and a stitching line. So even though I just printed 3 sizes, there were 6 different lines and they intersected, so I was struggling with that. And I put the pattern pieces together, and I didn't even cut it out at first. I just kind of scooted it to the side, and I thought, this is not going to work for me because I'm just not that good at it. So I almost didn't even pick up the Karen, or it may be the Karyn, K-A-R-Y-N, Karyn or Karen. I don't know how it's supposed to be pronounced. You'll understand, I'm sure. But anyway, I went ahead and picked it up, and sure enough, it was the exact opposite. It had all the cutting lines. It had each pattern piece was labeled with what piece that was. It still had only the solid lines. It had only the black solid lines, and there was still 6 of them. So what I did to get around that, I just cut the largest size. I just cut around the outside, and I thought, I'm going to sew it up, and at least it'll be made, and I'll see what happens. That pattern went together better than any PDF pattern I've ever stuck together. The lines matched perfectly, everything. It was just a breeze. So I was so encouraged by that I went ahead and cut it out straight away, and I made that top, and then I went back and cut out the Nomi, and persevered with that one too, although I was still unsure about it. But anyway, let me show you real quick. This is the Caron, is how I'm going to pronounce it, ruffle detail top, and I made this out of a cotton lawn fabric that I've had for probably 20 years in my stash. And I even used thread that had come out of a sewing kit. Somebody had got me like a sewing kit, and it had the nameless thread in it. You know, it didn't have a brand or anything on it, just a spool thread. I used that and a thrifted button that come off of an old dress, I think, that I had thrifted years ago, and I'd kept the buttons. So this was my little top. I don't know how well you can see that, but I'll try to insert a picture or a video or something of me trying it on, because it did fit, and I was real happy about that. And this is the little keyhole opening at the back and my little button right there. And I really like this. I'm not 100% sure that the neck ruffle does me any favors, but I didn't have my serger. My serger's still at the shop, so I just had to do everything with a zigzag stitch, and it's got a little bit of fraying on the inside, so it doesn't look great. I'm very happy with how this turned out, and I'll probably make it again. I think I'll probably lengthen it a couple inches, and I'll probably not put both the sleeve ruffles and the neck ruffle. I think I might omit that little neck ruffle. I think that might be just a little too much on me. But anyway, I was real happy with that, and that was a good pattern, even though it does have some challenges and the instructions are very sparse. There's not very many instructions, and you have to scroll down through a whole lot of ads and stuff to read the instructions. So what I did was I copied and pasted the instructions to a Word document and just printed them off. But there's really not many instructions. They're very, they assume quite a bit of knowledge. And if you've got a few garments under your belt, you know, you should be fine, I'm sure. But if not, you know, it says things like stitch the front to the back at shoulder seams, sew the bust darts, you know, just real blunt and quick, and, you know, just one sentence instructions. But it went together, everything fit together like a puzzle. So it was really good. Now, I went ahead and made the Nomi, because that was the one I was really after. I used a curtain, an old curtain, and I think it's synthetic, so I think it's probably polyester blend or something. I've had it forever, and I didn't want to try any really good even stash fabric, because I was so unsure about how this was going to fit. And I'll show you the fabric. It's pretty, I think. It looks like a green, it's a green gingham, but it feels kind of like plastic. So it's stiff, and it frayed like the dickens. I zigzagged it on the inside, but it's still frayed. But it fit pretty well, and I'll put a picture or something of me wearing it in. But it went together well. I didn't press it or anything. I just sewed it up basically to see if it was going to fit, and it fit. It fit pretty good, actually. I would probably need to, you know, alter the sleeve a little bit, or the armhole a little bit. But the ruffle around the bottom didn't do me any favors either, because this fabric is stiff and it just kind of stuck out at the bottom. But anyway, I did find out that I can use this pattern, and I may take the ruffle off, and then I think I could wear it. It's not comfortable, but I don't like this synthetic, whatever it is. It's not comfortable. It's scratchy, and it's plastic feeling. Anyway, real quick, I'll update you on my progress, or my decision on the Simplicity 9473 in VB, that I was going to use the blue flowered fabric that I showed you last week, and I've still got it laid out right here on my table. Isn't it pretty? I had some great suggestions from some viewers on how I could possibly be able to use that fabric for the circle skirt on this pattern. It was great suggestions, and it made perfect sense, but I'm not sure that I have enough skill right now to do that. This fabric is 42 inches, so it wound up being about 8 inches well, probably not that. Well, yeah, it's probably about 6 to 8 inches too narrow to get that circle skirt pattern on it. So somebody had suggested how I could do that with a more narrow fabric. And I came down and tried to work that out on how to do it, but I'm just kind of afraid I might ruin it. So I decided, instead of this pattern and this fabric, I decided that I was going to use some 60-inch wide rayon challis that I had in my stash. I've had it since last year. It came from Fabric Mart Fabrics, and it's this. And I just thought it was so pretty. It's pink background and those flowers. I don't know, it probably is a tree or something. I don't know, but I like it. Whatever it is, it's pretty. And so I've already got the Simplicity pattern cut out of this, and I had plenty, and it fit onto this 60-inch wide with no problem. So this blue fabric, I decided that I'm going to make a different dress. I had made a new to me pattern at the time. It's a simple sew pattern, and I made 2 of these dresses, and I always get so many compliments when I wear them. I've just made them out of cotton, and they wear really well. They fit me really well, and it's the Simple Sew Grace dress. And I made this version here with the cap sleeves. It has the waistband detail. It has like I said, the cap sleeves, and the skirt has pleats, 2 pleats in the front and 2 pleats in the back. And it takes about 2.5 yards of fabric, and I have enough of that, and you can use the narrow fabric for it, so I should be okay with that one. And I'm going to get that cut out. I've already got the pink one cut out, and I'm going to cut that one out in the next day or so. And I'm working on my sewing room tour. I've been straightening up a few things and getting that going. So I've been down here a lot, and it's been good. There is a Friday Sews question that people who use that hashtag to post under are supposed to answer, but I don't know where you get that question. So that's why I don't answer it, because I don't know where you find it. But if anybody knows where you find the Friday Sews questions of the week, I would like to answer them and be happy to participate in that, but I don't know where to get the questions. So there you go. But just remember, the only way we will be a failure at sewing is if we quit trying, if we give up. So we won't give up. We will keep trying. We will keep having successes and some failures too, but that's okay. What's the worst thing that can happen? We'll waste some precious fabric, or we'll get a garment we don't like, or a bad pairing between pattern and fabric, but at the end of the day, it's worth it. It's totally worth it when it does all fall together and we get something we love. So never quit trying. Just keep on keeping on. And it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Yes. But I hope everybody has a good weekend, and I hope you're well. And thanks again for your encouragement. Bye.